But the Jets and Robert Saleh have done this before. Saleh has done this a couple of times. And they felt like, leaving on Thursday night and getting there Friday morning will get them in their best frame of mind and physical frame come Sunday. So no Calvin Ridley for the Atlanta Falcons. That is huge. So, again, the Jets will see a team that is going to be missing their top receiver.
Yep.
Which is always huge against a young secondary. So I know that the Falcons are thinking the same way that the Jets are. This is a win. We have to win this game to save our season. Now, the Jets are a team that have basically no expectations. I don't necessarily know that the Falcons have any expectations either, but they do have a veteran quarterback. And that's the difference in the game. And hopefully Zach Wilson will continue to progress. And you're right, man. Maybe they come back 2-3 and they go into a bye and he can relax. He can breathe, and things are good. So, it's fun to have football starting at 9:30 on Sunday morning.
It is, especially when it's a local game of interest. I mean, sometimes it's hard for me because I know I'm going to be in front of the television starting at 1 o'clock all the way up until when I go to sleep to get into that game if it's like Jaguars-Titans or something like that. But this one's going to be great. I mean, you wake up and you've got Jets football and you're focused on that, and you get a little break locally until 4:25 where you get the Giants and the Cowboys. And just as the Falcons are banged up at wide receiver, the Giants have got some injuries at wide receiver too.
Seems like they're doing fine without their top wide receivers.
Yeah.
They played one of their best games last week. They made plays and really
a little bit different this week, though, to keep up with that offense at Dallas.
That's true. That's true. But what it did do, it showed Kadarius Toney, and it also showed Daniel Jones that he could trust in Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, by the way, the Giants put out like wallpapers so you can have like your phone background or your laptop background or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was Young Joker they put out the other day, and it had the Joker. It had a card behind him, and it said JOKA. So they're
fully aware, yes.
They are fully embracing the Joker lifestyle now, the Giants, after that game.
The Joker lifestyle?
Yes, that's right. They're
like it.
Fully embracing it after that game down in New Orleans.
I like it, man. I do like it a lot. And, I don't know if anybody even watched baseball around here yesterday.
No.
But
season's over, man. What are you talking about?
It
Most regional sport ever.
I know.
More than hockey.
The Red Sox got wiped out, and Arozarena was unbelievable yesterday. Hits a home run and steals home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as exciting as it gets. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have a guy like that on your team?
Randy Arozarena, sure.
Holy.
Exciting guy who shows up in the postseason and is dominating in that way. Yeah.
Now, would you call stealing home small ball?
I suppose you could go that way. Yeah. But, I mean, and that pitcher was totally clueless. He's got his back to him. He has no idea what he's doing. I mean, before he took off.
That was an awesome play.
No,
and
it was
small
an awesome
balls.
play. I'm just saying that this guy was. Randy Arozarena was a genius for taking advantage of the guy.
But I was listening to Kevin Cash after the game, and Kevin Cash was saying that he's been on me for weeks to do this.
Oh, okay.
He's been trying to do this. And so yesterday, Cash gave him the green light, as he said.
That's right.
Verde.
Yeah, well, you are when you're up 4-0 at that point in the seventh inning. It's like even if you get thrown out,
That was
you're
awesome.
cruising to a victory.
That was awesome. No, it's great to see the Red Sox lose like that.
Yeah, I don't even know. Does the Yankee fan even harbor any sort of emotion to this particular series? Because there's so much up in the air.
Right.
And they hate the Rays, too. And they hate the Red Sox. And it's like, do they even care who wins this series? What they care about is what the hell the future of this team is going to look like. I think that's what they're waiting to hear, a future of Aaron Boone. That's basically what's going on. And we're sitting here, the Yankees get eliminated on Tuesday. And we're sitting here on Friday morning, and we still don't have any indication as to what the hell's going to happen with Aaron Boone. I mean, if you think about the Mets and Luis Rojas, different situation. But it's like they didn't waste any time with that. They knew exactly what they were doing. So clearly the Yankees don't know exactly what they're doing with the future of Aaron Boone.
Well, they're evaluating right now, I'm sure. But it's a telltale sign that he, like, they didn't even discuss a contract extension with him. So there's something going on. There is absolutely something going on, and maybe something's going on with Brian Cashman. I don't know.
Well, you've been telling me from the get-go that there's just no way that they're going to move on from him because he's basically.
I think he's embedded with the Steinbrenners.
Yeah. And there's no way he's going to be like, I need to do something different. Like Theo Epstein just does, I need to do something different for a little bit. I'm burnt out. It hasn't been working out. Time for me to step away for a couple of years, something like that.
Right. I don't think so. I think that he's tight with Hal, and he's embedded. Now, they may say, hey, we need a whole new approach in the dugout or a new voice in the dugout. I could see that because that's where the CYA comes in professional sports. And we all know that. These guys, with the exception of very few people, are hired to be fired. We all know that. Eventually, they're all going to be fired. And I don't know. I just kind of see Brian Cashman as a lifer with the Yankees. And quite frankly, when the trading deadline has come and gone over the last couple of years, he actually did do a good job, I thought. And I thought, bringing Rizzo and Gallo here was a stroke of genius until Gallo got here and basically fell on his face offensively.
Yeah.
It was just so unbelievable how bad he was offensively. If he would have been half the player that you would have expected him to be, he was like a tenth of the player that you expected him to be. If he was even half the player that you expected him to be, it would have been a stroke of genius. But that one didn't work out. I think the Rizzo one kind of worked out, especially given what happened with Luke Voigt and what was going on at first base.
Yeah.
So he also made changes the last couple of years when guys got hurt, brought different people up and different people in. They played a different brand of baseball. And most Yankee fans, I think, were excited to see that brand of baseball. But that brand of baseball wasn't who the Yankees would be when they got to the playoffs. Once all their healthy guys got back, all the guys, the Allens of the world and the Vasquez's of the world, those guys were, they were going to be persona non grata. They were going to be out of here.
Yeah, if I were someone running this team, if I were Hal Steinbrenner, I would sit down and I would think about who is most responsible for our underachieving. That would be the thing.
Well, he said it. He said it halfway through the season.
I know. It's like it's on the players. Right.
We're paying him $210 million. Go out there and do your job.
But who's the one who brought the players in? I mean, that's the sort of the conversation.
Well, Stanton and Judge, did they do what they were supposed to do?
They certainly did. Yes.
Okay. DJ LeMahieu got hurt, and he wasn't a part of the postseason roster. So I would say he had an off year.
Yeah, and Garrett Cole, you can't get on Brian Cashman for signing Garrett Cole. Everybody wanted Garrett Cole here, and he was bad in that game, but that's not Brian Cashman's fault.
No, he's probably going to be second in the AL Cy Young Award.
Yeah,
believe it or not. So he had a great season. The catching situation's a mess. Gleyber Torres at shortstop was a net negative, as Gary Cohen would like to say. If you want to go around the horn, we could do that. But I still think it's really, Urshela had a little bit of an off year offensively. DJ LeMahieu was down offensively. Those guys, and Gleyber Torres was down offensively, and so was Gary Sanchez. There's your four guys right there. And then of course, Aaron Hicks is hurt again.
Yeah, I just wonder: would the Yankee fan be happy if they made a change at manager? They brought in someone that they liked, whoever that may be, someone that they're excited about. And then they brought back Rizzo. They brought in one of those shortstops.
And spent $400 million on their salary?
Yeah, they'd be thrilled, right?
They would be thrilled.
They would be thrilled.
And who cares? It's their money, and they'll raise prices somewhere along the line, whatever.
But it's about the luxury. But here's the other part about this, too. And
they still have to sign Aaron Judge and Rizzo and a shortstop.
But this is the thing that's very interesting about it and gets in the weeds a little bit. But they reset their luxury tax threshold right before a collective bargaining agreement. So that could change coming up. That number could be higher. There could be something else that happens in the new agreement. So we're saying, will they blow through it? Will they go buy it? Whatever. I mean, there might be a lot more room there to operate if and when they finally sign a new deal.
And also remember this, that they are going to expand the playoffs. Universal DH is coming. I hope that both the Players Association and the owners recognize that after losing as much money as they have over the last 2 years because of the pandemic, that they don't mess around here, that they get this thing done. They do a 10-year deal. And they call it a day, and we got labor peace, and they can start structuring their teams moving forward. I don't necessarily know that things are going to start happening until that CBA is done. That's the thing that's the big question mark right now. How contentious is that CBA going to be once it ends this December? So they got 3 months or 2 months, whatever, of baseball left, and then you're going to have the contentious part of the business of baseball. And I can only hope that the players and the owners say to themselves, look, guys, we got to come together here. This can't be contentious. We got to continue to build this league. We got to be partners. You guys are making a lot of money. I know that there's going to be some shuffling around the minor leagues and all that stuff. There's already been some contrition there. But I just hope it's not contentious.
Yeah, and it's going to be. Because when they had to figure out a pandemic season, it was extremely...
But they all got through it, though.
But it was contentious, though.
I know, yeah, because the players wanted full salaries, but they weren't playing full season.
Well, whatever the reasons
it's so idiotic when these players are like...
But there's going to be someone with an idiotic stance going into this thing. You know that there always is.
And, I'm all for the players making money. I don't care if Francisco... it's funny to reflect back on a $300 million contract, especially when a guy doesn't play well. That's part of the story and part of what we talk about here. But, these players are privileged to be making this money. Now, I always think that, like Rosarena, for instance, I think he's 26 years old and he's a rookie.
Well, he's not a rookie.
He's not. Well, he's.
No.
I'm trying to think. How long has he been in the league?
Yeah, well, he was around last year for sure.
But
it might have been 2 years prior to this year as well. He's definitely not a rookie.
The thing that would worry me is like a Jacob deGrom situation where the guy comes late, and then all of a sudden they start looking at your age, and you really don't have a chance to do it unless you're like a Bryce Harper who they bring up at the age of 18. Then you could hit it 3 different times with your salary.
Sure.
But a guy like Jacob deGrom has got to come up so late that there's a chance that he should get one more contract, I would imagine, and maybe they were protecting his arm because of that. But
he's going to look back at some point and be like, man, I could have earned maybe, I don't know, $400 million in my career, and it just didn't hit right. It just didn't hit right. So, but you talk about, the privilege of it, too, but there's also an aspect of these players earning it. I mean, there are.
No, I'm not saying that we all earned it.
Yeah.
We all earned our salaries. We all had to fight so many different areas where we could have gone south one way or the other. So I'm not against that, but I just hope that the players understand where they are, where the league is over the last 2 years, and how much money has actually been lost.
Yeah. Did you know that the double punt thing was the thing last night?
Yes.
You did? You were all
I did
over that?
100%.
You knew that rule?
100%.
Nobody knew that rule last night. Troy Aikman didn't know it. Mike Pereira didn't. Nobody knew the rule.
You know why? Because you don't see it a lot. I've actually seen it in a game, and I've actually done a game with it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The other thing about last night is you brought up Geno Smith, and I know he led his team to 97.
Oh, yeah.
He also
great.
threw a Geno Smith interception.
Yeah, but he was at 97. He was backed up, man. He said, screw this. Let's go. Oh, hell, Stafford threw a terrible interception in the end zone.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
And by the way, Al, your NFL insider gave you inside information on this game last night.
I had a very good source that said I should have bet on the Rams.
Boomstradamus, we bow to thee.
My source.
Wait a minute, Eddie. Back off of that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find out
NFL
whether or not
source.
he laid a bet on this game.
Unfortunately, I was not feeling that game, and I did not place a bet.
Why would you ask your NFL insider what he thought?
I think the NFL insider came to me out of the blue and just said, Rams tonight.
What do you need to feel a game?
Yeah. What's
I had to
the
have
feel?
a feel like the Arizona Cardinals give me a feel a lot of times. Like, ooh, they're good. They give me the Bucks give me a feel. The Rams, I just didn't trust.
Did you bet on the Bucks on Sunday night?
No.
Yeah, you would have lost. You didn't have the feel.
I didn't have the feel because Bill Belichick is very tricky.
Yeah, Bill Belichick basically pulled out the old 2001 Greatest Show on Turf Super Bowl game and said, let's play this type of defense against this quarterback and this team, and let's hold them to 19 points, and let's not let them throw a touchdown pass and give us the ball at the end of the game and give us a chance to win it.
Yeah.
It was the same game plan.
I thought the Seahawks didn't lose at home. 12th man.
No, they do.
I mean, what was that?
Well, your insider had this one on lockdown.
Well, the insider didn't know that Russell Wilson was going to get hurt, though, did he?
No, the insider didn't know that, but the insider didn't. It didn't matter for the insider.
Didn't matter for the insider who the quarterback was of the Seahawks?
I mean, for God's sake, the Rams almost ran a 500 total yards. The Seahawks defense is not what it used to be. See, you're caught into the Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor defense. That's not this defense anymore. And now the noise and all that stuff, yeah, it plays a part to it in certain respect. But these guys, they're used to it now. 500 yards of total offense almost by the Rams out.
Sounds like the insider's pissed.
I don't know if the insider's pissed or not.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I think the insider's probably a little bit more frustrated.
Okay, the insider's frustrated. I got you. Very good. All right, it's Boomer and Gino.
The insider tried to do a solid.
Yeah, right. Nobody was listening to the inside.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.